And y'all, I don't be knowing what I be doing half the time.
As the sun shines on all of my glory, my flaws don't look so bad at all. What was I so afraid of?
Hey everybody, it's Sharmel. Welcome back to Locs Lifestyle. Today I am here with another chit chat video. So let's get right into it. Today's video is going to start off with this tweet or a meme that's been kind of floating around Instagram, and I will put it up on the screen for you guys to check out. And so the tweet says, "Pray I'm not 30 trying to figure life out." And then somebody responded and said, "Who gonna tell her?" Okay. I wanted to start off with that tweet because I'm 30, y'all. I don't know if any of you guys know that. I know a lot of people think I'm a lot younger than I am, but I am 30 years old. And honestly, this tweet was a little triggering because I was definitely that girl that was talking about praying I'm not 30, trying to figure life out. I definitely went through a phase in my 20s where I was like completely overstressing myself out about life and trying to figure it out. And basically what I learned during that period is that most of the time we are our own worst enemies. Self-sabotage and imposter syndrome, it is really a real thing, and it's something that I honestly still struggle with to this day. So I'll start with just like a quick background story about me. I've talked about this in previous videos, but I do have a lot of new subscribers, so I'll give you guys like just a quick background story. Again, I am currently 30 years old. I'll say like my early 20s, I went to college, got my degree. My early 20s, I was very enthusiastic about life. I was very excited about life. I had a lot of dreams, goals, aspirations, things like that. After college is when things started to get shaky. Like up until college, I was a pretty standard student, but college was hard for me. I struggled with certain subjects, and you know, I kind of got to a point where it's like I didn't know if I wanted to pursue a higher degree or what I was gonna do. You know, I was just kind of out here living, trying to figure life out, literally. And so then around 25, I feel like that's when life really started to hit me. I guess you can say I went through a slight depression. I was just really unhappy. I was unmotivated. Nothing that I had thought my life would be, none of it was happening. Like I said, I had my degree, but I wasn't working in my dream career. I don't even think I had a dream career anymore at the time. I was working, you know, I was working for a good company, but I was severely overworked and underpaid, which was making my life extremely miserable. Around the time a lot of my peers were starting to like get engaged, get married, have children, my dating life was completely trash. I was messing with a bunch of, just a lot of men that meant me no good, okay? And so in that process, like, it really started to take a toll on my mental well-being. Like, I just felt like I was having the same day over and over and over again. I would get up, go to work, come home, go to sleep, get up, go to work, come home, go to sleep. This phase continued for about a couple years, and then around like 27 or 28, I remember having this conversation with God, and I'm like, "Sir, I need you to make something shake because I am struggling. I'm struggling." It was just such a weird phase. I don't even think I can fully put into words like where my mind was, because it just felt like everything just felt very absent. It's so crazy how God works, because I didn't have this, like, I feel like a lot of times when people tell you stories like this, they have like this big traumatic thing that happens to them. And for me personally, it wasn't like this big traumatic experience that happened, but God revealed himself to me in the most subtle and simplest way that it had me shook. And from that point on, I knew that I had to be intentional about living life. And so yes, like I said, that happened around like 27, 28. I'm now 30, and y'all, when the pandemic happened last year, it definitely kind of reignited that woe is me spirit. I kid you not, you guys. I get on camera, I smile, you know, I try to be as articulate as possible. I try to be as warming and happy as possible. But these last 12 months have literally been the hardest months that I have ever experienced in my 30 years of living. I'm very selective about what I share, how I share it, when I share it. And you know, at some point, I feel like everything will come full circle and I'll be able to share everything. And we all have our own testimonies that we're constantly working through. And so, yeah, sometimes, you know, we have to reflect. We have to go back. We have to regroup. I wanted to kind of talk about some things when it comes to trying to figure your life out. Some things that I kind of implemented at the beginning of the year to kind of help reset everything. The first thing that I've been doing since the beginning of this year is saying yes. I've been learning to say yes regardless. I've mentioned before that I'm a very practical person. I am practical. I cannot help it, especially when it comes to living life. And so I say all that to say is that I feel like we all have our version of how we see our ideal self, how we see our ideal life. And so with that, I also get ahead of myself when it comes to planning. And so in the past, I would get presented with a lot of opportunities. But in my mind, if I felt like it didn't fall into what I thought was going to be my pathway to achieve my ideal self, I would turn the opportunities down. And what I'm learning is that, you know, your calling, our calling, my calling, it won't always look like what we want it to look like or what we expect it to look like. You have to be more open-minded to how things will happen. If your goal is to reach that ideal person that you have to be open to allowing it to happen any way that it's going to happen. These opportunities that we're presented with, they won't always be like the ultimate vessel that takes us to our ideal self, but there's going to be things that you learn on with these opportunities. They're going to be skills that you develop. It's going to be like certain characteristics that you develop. Confidence building. For me, like I said, like because I'm so in my head, sometimes I do need that confidence boosting, something to build my confidence up to say, you know what, you did it before, you can do it again. And so a lot of times that's what these opportunities are for. But if we don't act on these opportunities, we're delaying reaching our ideal self. In effort to really reach my full potential, I had to learn how to say yes regardless. And you know, there's the whole called versus qualified. And you know, I've definitely had to learn over the years that if God called me to do something, it doesn't matter what qualifications that I think I have or I don't have, because with God I lack nothing. So if he called me to do something, then I need to be obedient and do it. And whatever I don't have in the moment, I have to trust that he will supply me with it. But again, when it comes to trying to figure life out, I feel like we have so many plans that we're trying to stick to, and we're hurting ourselves in the end because we're not allowing any space for just growth in general. I had to shift the way that I thought about life. So I feel like I know for me and my friends, we always kind of throw around the saying, oh, I'm just trying to get my life together. A lot of people say, you know, I need to get myself together. You know, even when you need your hair or your nails done or something, it's easy to say, I'm just trying to get my life together. So I've been trying to stop saying that. And so the way that I do that is now, instead of saying I'm trying to get my life together, I say I'm just planting seeds. You know, when you plant a seed, you care for it, you do everything that you need to do to nurture that seed, and you wait for it to come into fruition. You wait for your harvest to come. And then understanding that after you plant your seed, that if you have ever maintained a garden or anything like that, when you plant your seed, you don't get your garden the next day. Like, there's a lot of nurturing and caring and discipline and patience that comes along with maintaining a garden. And so that's kind of how I have to look at it. It's like I'm planting my seed, and I'm going to be patient, and I'm going to put in the work because I want to see my harvest. And I'm just going to continue to do the work until the harvest comes. And it's so crazy, y'all. I did another video talking about locks and spirituality and how God has been using my lock journey to teach me so many new things. And it's crazy because last year in 2020, it was like in January or February, I did a video. Last year, 2020, was coined as the year of vision. And I put out this video talking about vision and, you know, all these things that I wanted to see happen in my life, as well as a vision for my channel. Around this time, my channel had definitely plateaued, and I was trying to be more intentional and purposeful about the kind of content that I was putting out. And so I kid you not, I have my journal from last year, and you know, it has like my 2020 goals and everything. And then on this page, I have my vision from God. And so the vision for like my online content is right here written out. Bridging the outer appearance with God's purpose and anointing, moving past vanity and walking in authority as a royal whole woman, walking in fullness, passion, and abundance that God has promised us. And so my objective for my content was, honesty and authenticity, to teach and to help, and to create and drive more revenue and income. So I wrote those notes in January of 2020. I started my lock journey in September of 2020. When I wrote those notes, I had no idea that I would be starting my lock journey that year. So locking my hair was always something that I wanted to do, but I had never put like an exact date to it. And even when I decided to lock my hair, it wasn't completely impulsive, but like the month prior, it was just like I had got this urge to say that it's time. So in between January and September, I was putting out so much content, you guys. It was like at the peak of the pandemic. I was in the house, I was putting out content, I was putting out hair content, beauty content, like I was literally like throwing out all this stuff. I had started my second channel and I just felt like none of it was working. I was making the least amount of money I had made on YouTube in years. Like, I was putting out more content and I was making less money. I began to get very frustrated because I'm like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing wrong? I was doing everything that I thought I was supposed to be doing and nothing was happening. Honestly, when I started my lock journey, I felt like my channel was going to go down even more. Like I knew it was something that I wanted to do, but I was extremely afraid about how it would affect my content on YouTube. You know, I felt like I had built my platform around certain kind of content, so the switch would make me lose. And it's crazy because the complete opposite happened. Again, when I started that lock journey, I was not thinking about these notes that I had wrote down, and something told me to pull out this notebook. And when I looked at it, I was honestly in disbelief about like how God was working for me. And so like literally everything that I wrote down, I had no idea that my lock journey would be the vessel to make it happen, but that's the way that God used it. And so I say all that to say that it's just so important that we maintain a spirit of open-mindedness. Like, and we spend so much time like trapped in these plans. If we can have our plans, you know, everybody wants to figure life out. Everybody wants to live a happy, successful, fulfilling life, but we definitely have to be open-minded into the way that it's going to happen. My objectives when I wrote down this vision was to be honest and authentic. I feel like this lock journey has really kind of stripped me, and it's kind of forced me to be even more honest and authentic with myself, and I try my best to translate that on camera. My second objective was to teach and to help. Y'all, prior to locking my hair, I had no history, I had no experience with locks. I get so many comments saying that like my lock journey has inspired others to start their lock journey, that so many people are learning so many things from my lock videos. And y'all, I don't be knowing what I be doing half the time. Like, I just be trying and I do my best to help and to teach y'all. And I guess it's being receptive, and I would have never imagined that this would be the way that I would be doing it. And then my last objective was to create and drive more revenue and income. Since starting my lock journey, I have higher viewing videos on my channel than like my lock videos, but as a whole, my lock videos have generated way more income than any of my other content has. And like every day, I'm just like more and more shook about just how life is working out. And it kind of goes back to what we talked about in the beginning of this video with the meme of like praying that you're not trying to still be figuring life out at 30. And like I said, I'm 30 now, and I feel like things are just beginning to happen for me. You know, I feel like there's so much more to come, and we don't want to get so caught up in trying to figure everything out that we block off potential blessings, that we close. The day you stop learning and the day you stop having the desire to learn and to grow and to do more, you're already setting yourself back. There's a saying, life is a journey and not a destination, and that's something that I've definitely had to adapt and stop putting like limits on when I can achieve something or when I have to have something completed by. If you think about a car, if you're driving a car and your car like hydroplanes in the rain, or if your car spins out, the one thing that they tell you to do is to slow down, ease your foot off the gas, and to avoid slamming on the brakes. And I've had to adapt this to the way that I view life. So when I feel like my life is just kind of moving and everything is out of my control, I take a step back, I slow down, and I allow it to just happen. You're gonna have moments where you're unhappy, where life just feels really unfair, but you kind of have to learn how to ride out the wave. But I definitely went through a phase where I was like, 30 is old and I don't want to be 30. But honestly, since turning 30, I feel like this is the most secure I've ever felt about life. And simultaneously, everything is falling apart. It's so baffling and crazy how everything just kind of works with each other. But yes, the main thing that I can say, and I guess what I'll close this video out with, life is not always about figuring it out or getting your life together or getting your stuff together. A lot of the times, it's just about living. And I can't emphasize that enough. I talk about it a lot in my videos because it's something I'm really genuinely passionate about. You have to wake up every day with bold enthusiasm regardless of what's going on, and to make a conscious decision that I'm going to have a good day. It may not be the best day, but I'm going to have a good day regardless of what's going on. And so yes, that is it for this video. I feel like my thoughts were kind of all over the place, so I'm hoping that you guys understood, or you know, what I was talking about. But thank you all for watching. If you enjoy content like this, definitely let me know down in the comment section. I will continue to put more content out like this, or if you have anything specific that you would like me to talk about, also let me know that as well. But thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, Snatched by Sharmel, and I'll see you all in my next video.